Hey guys, what's up? It's Philbo. We are looking at a big update that just came out, talking about some of the things that we're going to see in season 3 and some big changes that are happening. So I'm going to walk through this. I will not be going over everything in here. So if you want to look at this in its full detail, go ahead and check out the link in the description. But I'm just going to hit the things that I think are most important. So let's go ahead and jump right in. First thing we're looking at here, improvements to season character creation guide. Not going to touch much on this, but I'm happy to see things like this occurring in the game because a better new player experience is something that I think the game has needed. Any improvements that are made to help new players pick up and grasp the game easier is a good thing. That's going to help the population of the game. So I'm happy to see things like this are happening. Looks like a chance to make a legendary grade unique is going to be improved up to 20% hardcore and 10% in origin and normal. So that way we're getting better uniques. So that's good. Improvements to the episode. We already heard about this, but if you haven't, gameplay routes are going to be improved in acts 11 and 12, which are very long acts. So that's going to make getting through the episodes a lot quicker. They're doing other things like updating locations of portals, waypoints, etc. And then we also get a skip prologue feature that sets us straight into the Mallow front, which is going to be nice. Chaos Dungeon's growth level is increasing from 30 to 35. And we are going to be getting a powerful monster chance to appear at level 16, card growth or above. If you defeat the powerful monsters, you can obtain highly effective unique gear, including charm, legendary, reversion, essences by chance. The max level monster has increased as a result up to 155. Max enchant level for world's memory grades will be increased. So you can see the before and after, they are just bumping up the level on those. There's also going to be this new field event, the Resurrected Champion of God, when entering after enchanting rare world's memory to level 11 or above, it might appear by chance, okay? And when you kill these monsters, you have a chance of these chests dropping, which include really nice unique gear. And here is, in my opinion, the first really big update to gameplay. Monsters, armor for monsters of each level will be decreased. So this is going to help physical builds out. I don't know how much armor these monsters are going to have decreased, but any decrease here is going to be an improvement to those physical builds, and that is a buff. I think the game developers have recognized that physical builds aren't quite as strong as elemental builds, and this is going to help with that. So happy to see this. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out, though. A bunch of rankings are going to be deleted, and we have season 3 ranking categories. So you're going to have the Chaos Mission Training Arena and Content Progress ranking. All right, so here we go. Some more nice, juicy updates. We're getting some new skill runes and some new link runes. So Thorn Explosion, physical spell skill that summons multiple thorns and attacks targets within range, and it creates the bleed. We're also going to have Trick Shot, which is a movement skill for bow users. Right now, bow users basically just use roll. And so if you want to use 2 movement skills as a bow user, you will now have that option with Trick Shot. We've also got some new link runes, lower armor and convert physical damage. So lower armor, I'm not sure how much damage this is going to actually add, but I'll be interested to test this out. So depending on how good this is, this could really improve physical damage builds. And then we also have convert physical. It's going to allow you to take any elemental skill rune and convert it to physical damage. Now, I don't know that this is going to be that good in practice because most elemental based skills have some sort of functionality built in that will be completely removed when you add convert physical damage. So, things like frost abilities causing chill or freezing, if you convert those to physical damage, they won't be able to do those things anymore. So this might not be that good, but we will see. There's a handful of runes I've seen that could work with this, so I'll be interested to see how that pans out. And then we have updates to skill runes. Now, these you definitely want to pay attention to. Okay, so we've got some improvements to skills. Flamethrower and Domain of Strength had some issues fixed where hit cycles slowed down while channeling. And moving on, we have Charge Release. So this is a big one right here. This is under improvements to skill runes, but actually there is a nerf in here. So the damage tags for the first and second damage dealt by Charge Release are currently the same. This will be changed so that the first damage has a projectile tag and the second damage has the area of effect tag. So if you're unfamiliar with Charge Release, what happens is projectiles will occur, they fly out, and there are 2 hits. There is the initial hit when the projectile strikes the enemy, and then there's the explosion. So it essentially hits twice. Right now, they are both being affected by area of effect and projectile tag. What is being stated is that the area of effect tag will only affect damage on the second strike, and then projectiles will only affect damage for the first strike. So why is this important? Because one of the most powerful runes in the entire game, concentrated area damage, is it increases damage amplification by a significant amount to area of effect runes. Now, this is going to be a nerf in that you will lose damage on charge release, because slotting in concentrated area damage is not going to be something you want to do anymore, and you're going to have to fill in with some other rune, maybe something like additional lightning damage, and it's just not going to be near as much damage as having the concentrated area damage rune on it. You're also going to lose damage in that you're not going to be able to pick up the full amount of damage here in the Zodiac tree for things that affect area damage. So you've got this here. You've got other things in the Zodiac tree that add to damage like this, and then some of the specializations have some damage paths as well. You'll have to avoid nodes that have area damage amplification. You're also going to lose damage from anything that might have area damage on your gear. And then another really big thing you're going to lose damage from is the blessing effect from Alyssa if you have Alyssa. So Alyssa, if we look at it, has this area damage amplification and area damage. And if you have that, this is a big loss in damage there as well. So pretty sizable nerf for charge release. Was this needed? I think so. I think charge release, everybody can admit that charge release has been probably the most dominant spell if we're talking about like caster type spells or activated spells in the game in the past season. And so I think that this is a necessary nerf, and I'm kind of happy they did it. We're going to actually see a lot more variety. Some other things that they are changing with charge release is that the size of the projectiles will be increased by 1.5 times. So like a 50% increase in the size of the projectile. And then they're also speeding them up to make them a little bit faster. So the speed is going from 600 to 700. I think that was much needed as well. They just don't move very quickly. So this is great. Unleash Lightning Shot is going to get some changes here as well. Lightning particle count is going to go from 6 to 3. And then these cannot chain and pierce tags will be added. And then the awakenings will be updated as a result. So you'll have one awakening that gives you a lot of these lightning particles that happen. And then the other two will give you the option to either pierce or chain. Or updates to the guides for beginners. This is great. Love it. All right, so here we go. Here is another really big update, and that is nerfs to some of these Rune Knight builds. So we have a big nerf coming here to Hazy Melody. The authority effect percent and the damage amplification are going to be lowered on high tone for Hazy Melody. And then there's also going to be damage amplification for the fusion buff level is going to be lowered, and then the damage taken is going to be increased. So these Abyss Knights are going to get a little bit tankier, but the damage amplification is going down. So this is going to be a big nerf to Rune Knight builds, which, as we all know, have been fairly busted in this past season. They have absolutely dominated the leaderboards. For the most part, have been able to do like almost 10 times as much damage as a lot of other builds. It's been kind of nutty, and they've just been way too overpowered. So this is good. I'm interested to see what this actually looks like. I think that even with these nerfs, they'll still be strong, but that remains to be seen. Moving on, we have the pet ability will become free on the December 7th update to Season 3. No more pet fees. Good riddance. I'm so happy this is happening finally. I've been having to manually loot the last few days, and it sucks. Love it. Big deal. Another major update here. Free rune transfer alchemy. All currencies needed for transferring runes through alchemy will be removed. Dude, this is huge. If this is working how I think it's going to work, then this is massive. So like if we go to the alchemy tab right now and we look at transfers and you go to transfer something, you have to pay all these essences down here to transfer over. And what I think this is saying is that we're not going to need to use that at all to transfer those runes. So this is going to make swapping from one build to another build stupid easy. I'm kind of at a loss for words here. Like, I can't believe this. I love playing new builds. Like, that's one of my favorite things about the game is playing around with new builds. And this is going to allow us to do that much easier, much quicker. This is huge. Like, I love this. I'm so happy about this. So some other really major changes that we're going to get is going to be in the gemstone shop. They're going to be making changes to required gemstones for certain items. And then also they're adding some other things that you can purchase. So let's just go check this out real quick. One big thing I want to point out is the rune essences, the birth essences. These are what you use to get your 6 links. These are dropping significantly from 250 to 50. Then the color and link essences are going to drop from 400 to 125. This is going to make getting your runes set up and getting your 6 links so much quicker. Looks like we're adding charm change essences to the store. I'm also seeing a rune candor essence. This is 20,000. Currently, you can get a candor essence piece for 45,000. So this is a big win. Alyssa, Vesper essences. Also, addition of World's Memory random chests. Rare chaos upgrade stones going from 18,800 to 7,500. Also adding a legendary chaos upgrade stone, which is nice. Rare memory expansions also getting cheaper, and then legendary memory expansion stones are being added, so that's awesome. You're going to be able to get a formula book. So these formula books are the books that you get from the pass, the game pass, and it allows you to get these formula books that let you craft these different orbs. These formula books that let you do damage orbs, you can get those through the guild vendor. However, these other orbs here have to come from this formula book, which is gotten through the monthly pass. So including this formula book, you're limited to a month, but you'll at least be able to get those formula books to create those orbs. We're also getting traces of memory selection chests. This is really nice for crafting. These chaos stone random chests are being dropped good bit from 3,000 to 500, and it looks like they're bumping up the daily amount to 20. This is huge right here, because being able to get all these additional dungeon events is so good for character progression. They're also adding runestone essences to the gemstone store. These are the essences here that allow you to move your runestones to different spaces on your rune board by random. And then it looks like they're also adding guild token crafted statues and mysterious elements. So a means to get extra gold. That's awesome. Guild tokens, if you don't have enough time to farm all your guild tokens in a day, you can buy some extra ones here. And then mysterious elements would be the elements here for relic growth, mysterious elements that you need to increase your light of life, to improve your avatar level. So adding lots of different ways to boost your character through the ore shop. I like these changes. In Origin, it looks like they're adding identification scrolls. And in the Gemstone of Merit shop, it looks like they are dropping the price of all these prefix option and suffix option birth essences down about half. So 240 to 120, 200 to 100. Quality mods are going from 400 to 200. Engraving stones, you're not going to be buying by pieces anymore. You will be buying the entire stone, and you will now have a weekly limit on those. And you will also be able to get guild tokens, statues, light elements, and relic elements here as well now. So those are some good changes to the store. All right, we also have the changes being made to the Lacrima. There's going to be an addition of a legendary Lacrima. There's no legendary Lacrima in the game right now. This is going to have 3 gear slots in it. It can have up to 3 unique gear slots on it, but it might have a magic or a rare on it as well. The unique gear slots are going to have fixed absorb rate of 100%. They're also going to lower the drop chances for magic and rare lacrimas, and they are going to increase unique lacrima drop rate and also add the legendary lacrima. If you don't know what the lacrima is, I have a guide on that. I will include that in a link in the description. We also have a bunch of new unique gear being added to the game. Few of these are going to open up some really interesting builds and improve some existing builds. Like, for example, Aquila's Claw is going to be added. These gloves are going to allow combo, my favorite skill, to do instead of 2 slashes, 3 slashes. So that's going to be big. There's also Hero's Charm, which is going to make Frost Strike a bigger area of effect. So there's some pretty interesting new unique pieces in here that I'm really excited to test out. They also state that improvements are going to be made to the current unique gear. When I click the link, it takes me to a page that's in Korean. So I don't know what these changes are, but some of the uniques will be improved. And then we also have a bunch of new skins being added to the game. I'm not going to go through this, but if you're interested, again, the link is in the description to this post and you can go check these out. We've also got some new products that are going to be added to the shop. I'm not focused on those sort of updates in this video here, so I'm not going to go over it, but the information is here again in the link below. But I do want to point out the episode skip ticket, because this one is pretty important if you don't want to play through the campaign in the new season. So the way this is going to work is you are going to be able to buy a skip ticket with rubies, either 400 rubies for one or 960 for three. And for each episode, you're going to be able to skip with one ticket. So episode one, I think, is acts 1 through 5. Episode 2 is acts 6 through 10. And then episode 3 is acts 11 through 13. When you skip these, you are going to be granted the corresponding level here. So if you skip all three, you will be started off at level 76 in Saludo, ready to do your Chaos Dungeons immediately upon creating your character and applying the skip tickets. So keep that in mind if you do not want to do. Okay, final thing I want to talk about here is that there's going to be a holiday event. These events are always really, really juicy. So I'm going to be making sure that I'm taking advantage of the holiday events. They are a big boost to your character if you play during those events. I will most likely release a video going over this holiday event as soon as I get information. And then they're also going to have this Chaos Ticket Exchange event, which is going to allow you to take the currency that you get from converted Chaos cards and keys from the previous season in exchange for event rewards. And we're going to see what these rewards look like as soon as the game updates on December 7th for season 3. But that's pretty much it. What do you guys think? I'm a little underwhelmed with the amount of changes that they made to skills. I thought they were going to do a lot more, but I am happy that they have done some things like nerfed a couple of like the overpowered abilities, like the Rune Knight nerf, the charge release nerf kind of needed to happen. I don't like it when certain skills are like so dominant that people don't want to play other builds. So hopefully this adds more variety in what we're seeing on the leaderboards. But I'd like to hear from you guys. What are you looking forward to most in this season? What are you going to be playing? Drop me something in the comments. I'd love to hear from y'all. I've got to get back to the grind, so I will catch you guys later.